do some introductions, and then we'll start with the recap.
Sweet. Hi, I'm Joe. I play Luke, the Green Pit Viper Ranger, and the Dimension Storm team leader.
My name is James, and I play Charlie, the Yellow Housecat Ranger.
I'm Juan, and I play Javier.
I'm Lila, and I play Julie, who is the Pink Ranger.
Hi, and I'm Jay. I play literally everyone else. Welcome back to Power Rangers Dimension Storm, our second session back into the world of the main campaign. James, hit away with that recap.
The last session began with Luke's dream, but this one was different from the others. Luke explored a sort of control over a small green snake in what seemed to be real time on a distant world, where darkness, a plague, was affecting the wildlife, in particular, a red bird affected by ash and sickness, causing it to act chaotically out of fear. Luke sees through the snake's eyes as a mysterious figure donning purple robes is somehow able to heal the bird of its affliction. This man somehow senses Luke's energy within the snake's body. He says he's been waiting for Luke and his two companions. But before more can be discussed, Luke wakes up, trying to make sense of his latest vision. Listeners will know that this man in the dream is actually Lagon of Eltar, a character that was introduced in the OVA whom Cal met, but hasn't officially met the Dimension Storm Rangers. The mysteries of what plagues the planet of Eltar, as well as the illnesses within Marcus, might be connected, but the Dimension Storm team haven't begun to scratch at the surface of that story, so I don't know why I'm mentioning it now. At breakfast, Orion reveals the message he's received from the Lone Ranger, who has been joined by Marcus Mitchell, shocking everyone at the table. Orion, worried, gives the white Dinomorpher back to Javi, warning him not to make him regret that. He and Hayakawa also tell the team of another project they've been working on, and updated us on the Blast Megazord, which is an amalgamation of Bubbles, the Blue Galactabeast, the Black Frogzord, and the Red Lightning Turbozord. Charlie has a sidebar with Luke and Javi to discuss the development regarding Marcus, as well as assuring Luke that he and Javi will follow his lead on the situation, a promise that's easier said than executed. We try to decompress and process throughout the morning, but we receive a direct call from the Lone Ranger, with him saying that we need to hurry back to 6L324 because one of the space pirate Balban monsters has grown colossal, and no one has the equipment to fight the giant-sized monster. We morph into our normal Ranger states to get ready, but Orion reminds us that if we want to use our new Zord configuration, we need to morph into the Ranger forms that are correlated to the Blast Megazord. We ask Jiraiya and Hiera to assist us with the new Zord, seeing as how Jiraiya has experience with the Black Frogzord, and Hiera may have special information on the monster we'll be fighting. We show up in the city, spotting the giant monster, known as Kolshizer, being distracted by the Lone Ranger and Marcus on top of a nearby building. A battle ensues, and after getting accustomed to the new Megazord, we run into a handful of setbacks, but we eventually get the hang of it and use the Blast Megazord's ultimate attack to pummel Kolshizer, defeating the monster in a spectacular Ranger-style explosion. Luke pilots the Megazord over to the building, and we ask the Lone Ranger and Marcus to explain themselves. We decide to meet up at an abandoned warehouse to continue our conversation away from onlookers. The Lone Ranger catches us up on his doings. His run-ins with the Life Force Rangers, Hiera's mom wanting to see her, his new fickle partnership with Marcus, and 6L324's need for the Dimension Storm team to fix things fast before Captain Zahab unleashes a powerful evil. It turns out Marcus is being plagued by some illness, causing him to vent frustration through extreme fits of rage and violence, or he'll be in danger of going off like an atom bomb. He's only been helping the Lone Ranger as a way to get in touch with Orion, who may have some answers regarding what ails him. He's desperate now that he's no longer aligned with Billy of 1C. After some heated moments, everyone decides to demorph as a way to help push the conversation forward. We decide to stick around and help the Life Force Rangers and 6L324 gathering trust so Orion will feel better about having a face-to-face with Marcus at some point in the near future. We call Orion, and he says in the coming days, if Marcus proves he can assist everyone without threatening people or putting them in danger, he'll find time to have a meeting with him. We split into two teams. Charlie, Kiera, and Jiraiya will locate the Life Force Rangers, trying to rally them back into being heroes. Lightning Cruiser flies down from the alley to get us around faster. Marcus, Javi, and the Lone Ranger will be on monster detail, protecting the city as dangers continue to arise. Luke decides to hop between teams, checking on the progress of both. Back on the spaceship, Orion notices cracks at the edge of the multiverse again. Allie calls everyone at the same time to tell them that the ship is moving. Orion is hyper-focused on something, and he's going towards the edge of the universe. Luke reminds the team that they need to stay focused on their tasks in the meantime. They go to see Carl Campbell first because of their tight connection to Lion Man out of everyone else in the Life Force team. Luke and Charlie give speeches that cause Carl to jump back into action and continue the good fight. Meanwhile, at the edge of the multiverse, Orion is flying full force into the edge, getting too close, causing all sorts of malfunctions to the ship and systems. An explosion causes the ship to blast back as they rumble away. The ship is damaged. Hayakawa morphs to stay safe. Allie is panicking. Hayakawa runs to the main engines to make sure everything's okay, checking on Dulcinea, who seems mostly fine. Robots scatter, trying to make repairs. Then suddenly, just how they met Hayakawa, a person emerges from the edge fractures and hits the ship. Orion, desperate for answers, seems to have been expecting something else, but after being scolded by Allie, he goes out to retrieve the floating unconscious Pink Ranger that just appeared. The mystery woman is in a Pink Ranger uniform with a fox-themed aesthetic. Hayakawa scolds Orion for making such rash choices and putting the mission and their friends at jeopardy. Orion says he's looking for answers to stop Billy. Hayakawa thinks Orion doesn't care about 6L324 and that he's just been following a specific trail for answers and his own needs. It gets pretty awkward, but the woman on the table wakes up. Orion feels weird about Hayakawa giving him a dose of truth, so he wants to make an attempt at righting some of the wrongs. So he uses some of his energy to calm the woman and heal her, but also maybe secretly reads her thoughts to make sure she's not a threat. Her breath steadies, and she is more aware of her surroundings, seeing Orion, Hayakawa, Kimmery the cat, and Allie looking over her. They get to know one another, learning that the mysterious Pink Ranger has a cynical and nihilistic view of life, and is pretty deeply troubled, but overall possibly fated to have joined the crew of the Alley. Meanwhile, back on Universe 6L324, a whole week has gone by due to time dilation. The fight team, consisting of Javi, Marcus, and the Lone Ranger, have managed to fight monsters and pirate aliens. In downtime, Javi has had a great night in his wrestling career, even signing a contract to be a professional, now obligated to make weekly appearances in the ring. The talking team, consisting of Charlie, Kiera, Jiraiya, Carl, and Luke, have made no progress with the other Life Force Rangers. At some point, the Lone Ranger even uses his personal ship, the Copperhead, to search for the Alley throughout the multiverse, but wasn't able to spot it. We end the session in the Lone Ranger's ship as he delivers the bad news that Orion and our ship are still missing, nowhere to be found in the multiverse. Luke asks Marcus what he's going to do now that he won't be able to talk to Orion. Marcus says he needs to continue finding monsters to fight, because if he doesn't, he'll boil up and pop. He may need to seek someone else with answers about his condition. Marcus is mad that he wasted a bunch of time working with the Lone Ranger and not even getting what he wanted, to talk to Orion. Luke asks what he'll do in the meantime. Travel with us on the Copperhead? Is he willing to play nice? Who knows? Lone Ranger threatens to get Dr. Banner and purposefully piss him off to set him on a path towards Marcus if he doesn't start acting right. The Lone Ranger jokes with the Dimension Storm team a bit, but ultimately says they can stay aboard the Copperhead spaceship until the Alley returns. And that's where we left last time on Power Rangers Dimension Storm.
All right. A pretty good recap. Thank you, James. As always good with the recaps. Okay. We're going to start off with y'all getting a bit of stuff in. I'm going to go one at a time to see what y'all would have been doing throughout the week before we have Orion and everyone get back. Before that, a little off to the side, back on the alley, Orion has having some conflicting emotions, something y'all aren't aware of, but something important that I think y'all should see and be aware of. A little preview of what's going to come this session. Orion is in his quarters as they are making their way back. He feels guilt wash over him as he sits in his chair looking at the screens at the main cockpit next to his captain's quarters. He doesn't want to feel this way, but he can't help but do so. He thinks to himself, things were so much simpler back then. I didn't have all of this, these emotions. I didn't have these feelings. Nothing mattered to me. And now here I am, racing my way back to fix the mistake that I had made. It may have cost them everything. Before, I would have considered this a bump in the mission. If I get back and they are dead from old age or somewhere else, I would have moved on. But potentially the idea of them being gone upsets me. I've become attached to them in a way I did not think I could. And I will do what I must to protect them, to potentially save them. Hayakawa was right. I'm mad at myself as well. I'm frustrated. But I will do what I must. And on the way back, as you all know, from what I posted in lore, Orion made a stop on the way back to make up for a mistake he had made a long time ago. And he tells that person, I'm sorry. But now, we're going to jump back. Starting from the top, Javi, what would you have done during this week outside of the fighting monsters and your coming back to being in the wrestling ring?
Probably just he'd probably be working out and just trying to spend time with Luke and Charlie while we wait for Orion.
Okay. Something to take of note. You'd be sleeping on the couch unless, however, if Charlie does leave the bunk room, you could potentially take that spot and sleep underneath Marcus.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. Okay. Charlie, what did you do during the week in between the failure to convince any other Life Force team members and I guess maybe appearing as Luigi at Javi's side during the wrestling? What would you have done?
We weren't even able to get Ben.
No, everyone was very
Distraught.
unresponsive. I mean, you could probably see that Ben may have wanted to, but you didn't fully get him.
Yeah. I will say that Charlie has probably been kind of split, a little bit torn, wanting to make sure Luke's okay, existing in such close quarters with Marcus, but also kind of now realizing that he's trying to follow Luke's lead of kind of like staying calm. Hanging out with the group if they want to hang out, but also when I can, encouraging Hiera to maybe get some closure with her mom, and just hanging out with her as well.
Okay. We'll say y'all did some stuff together in between in the downtime, and we'll say that it was pretty good. You know, maybe y'all. I mean, y'all are. It's colder. It's November, but walking on the beach is always still nice, regardless
Yeah.
of
She's
of
not
time.
bothered by the cold.
Yeah, no. So it'd mostly be about Charlie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's also piers and stuff like that. So y'all could have went sightseeing maybe went to the zoo, basic stuff to begin
Yeah,
with. And we'll
I
we'll
like
say it
that.
went we'll say it went generally pretty good. May have been some awkwardness at times when Charlie wasn't sure what to do, but we'll say Charlie handled it like a pro. I have faith. He's probably super stressed that Orion and Allie hadn't come back, but I feel like he just kind of blocked that out of his mind and was like,
Yeah.
I'm here now. This is what's important.
Yeah, just trying to be present, disassociating from that fear of losing his adopted parents, basically, who he loves.
Finally
And
acknowledging
yeah,
it.
just trying to stay in Hiera's eyes and be in those moments to get through the days.
Right. And Luke, what would you have been doing in between the week, outside of if you went to watch Javi wrestle,
Obviously,
and
I'm going to support my boys.
also in between hopping between teams and seeing how everything goes? Like it's been said, there was probably a bit of glimmer in Ben's eyes. What would you have been doing in between that time?
I imagine whenever he was with the Monster Detail team, things were a bit awkward.
Anyone who was on the monster team, so Javi and you, when you would swap out, y'all would see very clearly that Marcus might be taking Orion being gone, thinking that no matter what y'all say, the reset button's basically been hit. Marcus is fighting when it comes to even just the lone Yartot pirates. The main of the crew he says he's very aggressive, very violent. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it probably would have been awkward every time you showed up.
Yeah, he probably only hopped over there twice just to kind of see what was going on. Kept his distance for the most part.
The monster team would have evaded a one threat, one major monster, nothing much. Did not need the Megazord because potentially y'all don't have them at the moment. The monster team was very effective in putting them down quickly before they could do that, learning their lesson from last time.
Aside from that, and aside from like hanging out with the group whenever those hangouts happened, Luke probably would have gone off with Lightning Cruiser somewhere out just away by himself for a little while. Probably towards the end of that first week, so like I don't know, Thursday or Friday, just kind of gone off by himself and just taken a break from everything, taken a minute.
You all had decent weeks. Luke had some existential crisis stuff going on, obviously. Julie
Yeah.
was in a coma when she was basically a coma, medically induced coma, on the way back. But it's Sunday. Y'all make it to Sunday. You all, everyone, I'm assuming Charlie would have left the bunk and decided to sleep in the living room. I'm assuming.
Confirmed.
Would anyone like to take his space at his place? Okay, anyone being Javi, basically.
Yeah, he'll take it and see how the night goes.
Yeah, okay. Marcus doesn't really know anything about you. You're kind of hard to read. I mean, if Orion can't really read you, as far as Marcus is concerned, the only thing you do is chill and wrestle.
Orion and Javi have never fought back to back like Marcus and Javi have been for the past week.
That's true. He probably would have learned a little bit more about you, but even then, Javi is. I like to think Javi's a simple man. He likes to fight and chill. As far, unless I'm missing something, I know Javi's got his religion and everything.
He also likes to drink and like every now and again you probably catch him praying.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of ammo for Marcus, just the religion alone. Now that I think
Right.
about it, but Marcus doesn't really seem to care. His piss baby left the first night, so he's not really he's kind of mad now. So he's mad that Charlie didn't want to hang. But Saturday morning, you all hear your communicators go off. It wakes y'all up.
Hello? Who is this? Allie?
Huh?
Ryan?
It's very patchy at first, but you do hear hello.
Allie, is that you?
It is. It's me. It's us. We're back. We're closing in back on Earth.
It's
Sorry about
been
that.
50 years.
You know you were talking normally before you made the whole.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, oh wait, I forgot they told me to joke, and the Lone Ranger wanted me to pretend like I was old.
Just in the background. Yeah, we're all old.
I already ruined it.
Damn it!
I was too excited.
You had one job. It's so glad to hear you guys' voices again. As soon as we get around Earth, Orion wants to teleport y'all up on the ship. We picked up a stray.
Another person, like from the Sentaiverse.
Yep, as far as we know, energy is not from this multiverse, matches closer to Hayakawa's and Jiraiya's that we have on file. So yes, but she's currently in a medically induced coma because her body was in shambles. Yay!
Do you want me to take a look at her when I get up there?
Please do.
Okay.
So yeah, just get ready and do whatever, and we'll get a lock on you guys' locations. We'll beam you right up. So you're all kind of gathered here now, and it's back. They're back. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Oh.
Charlie's got tears kind of coming off of his face, but he's smiling like he's happy. So wait a minute. They said that they picked somebody up.
Yeah, it sounds like someone similar to Hayakawa and Jiraiya's situation probably came through when everything was cracking.
Well, it'll be good to have another ally on the team.
Yeah, but it sounds like she's in rough shape, so I'm gonna have to see what I can see.
You know, I'm gonna miss having you freeloaders here.
Freeloaders, I pay rent.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like we're up and disappearing. We'll be around.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be the same.
To be fair, and I don't mean this in like to knock your hospitality because I've enjoyed your company. I will be very glad to be off the ship.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's just this is the most action that orgy couch has seen since I bought it off that guy.
Charlie immediately just gets up and pulls. He grabs Hira's hand and kind of leads her away from the couch.
Oh, come on. Don't act like it's the worst thing you said. I deep cleaned it.
I was sleeping.
Oh,
No, it's still better than sleeping under.
Bobby sinks into it deeper. No, I'm playing.
Lone Ranger, you were a odd fellow, but I'm glad we've had this week together to get to know you. You're not at all what I thought you were going to be like when we first ran into you.
I would like to ask what you thought I was going to be like, but according to people that do meet me, they are very disappointed.
Well, you were kidnapping Jiraiya the very first time I saw you, so
I was that was strictly business that I regret.
I've never had a job, so I don't know how loyal I'd be. So yeah, I mean, I'm just you're not a bad guy, and I hope that you continue to make better decisions because you're pretty cool.
Thank you. I like to think I'm pretty cool. I even let Jiraiya have the top bunk when he was sleeping in the other room. I didn't have to do that. I mean, granted, I was sleeping on the bottom bunk anyway because I roll out of bed in my sleep sometimes, but I still let him have it.
I mean, fair enough.
Oh, I would like to mention that at some point, each of you had probably woken up getting spooned by the Lone Ranger, by the way.
Yeah, and exactly like I told you at your place, I was like, yeah, Javi woke up, was like, huh? Saw him and was like, oh, okay.
Luke would have immediately, depending on what side he was on the couch, like if Luke's was facing like in between Lone Ranger and the back of the couch, Luke would have like pushed off like from the couch to like shove the Lone Ranger off the couch off of him. He would have been like, don't touch me.
What about Charlie? What would have Charlie had done if he had woken up getting big spooned by the Lone Ranger?
Yeah, that fucking drove him off.
I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know.
Before
'cause
Charlie.
it could go a couple of different ways.
No, I think it would scare him, and he'd be like, he'd wake him up and be like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" Like, be like sincere about it. Like, hey, are you okay? Did somebody scare you? And then he'd be like, "No, I just want to be here, or whatever." And he'd be like, okay. And then that would make him uncomfortable, and he'd just kind of like slither out of his arms, and I'm gonna go get some water, and then never come back.
Sleep in the Lone Ranger's bunk and hope to God Marcus doesn't see you.
Yeah. Oh god, Lone Ranger's just like, it gets real cold at night, partner.
Yeah, but yeah, Luke would have just shoved him off the couch. Like, don't get the fuck off me.
But yeah, so back to the main conversation. Yeah, ending with him talking about the bunk or whatever. Y'all are in the living space. Anything anyone would like to do before y'all get off the Lone Ranger ship?
I want to ask him. I want to ask him if he's willing to join in a tag team match.
You want me to go with you and be a part of your wrestling gimmick?
Yeah, fool, just like once or twice if you want. Like, cause I know Charlie said he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Well, now that I think about it, I guess I could throw something together. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Count me in.
I'm gonna like put out my arm and like try to grab his forearm. Like, all right, son of a bitch.
Do it too. He's gonna just collide hands. Just so much testosterone right now. So, anything else anyone would like to do before y'all leave the ship?
Luke will kind of like pull Lone Ranger to the side for a second. Hey, so, God, how do I even approach this? You said that you and Marcus had like a long talk.
Yeah, what about it?
He clearly could not care less about interacting with me unless it's to be an asshole. So I'm clearly not gonna really get anything out of him other than that.
Where are you getting with this? You seem like you're afraid to say something.
I just kind of wanted to know what that conversation was about and maybe get a better understanding of what's going on with him.
Ah, so you want me to tell you what's going on in the bird's brain so you can pick it, probably get him to open up about you so he can get mad at me, try to choke me out again. Well, oh man, he is a brick wall though. He's caked up like one too. Oh, damn.
Uh,
Yeah, look, now is probably not the best time. Maybe another time, but definitely not now.
yeah, I
Mostly
didn't.
because, probably best if we were miles away.
Yeah, I didn't exactly intend to have that conversation here and now. It's just it's I've just been curious, and like I said, I know I'm not gonna get anything really out of him. But I feel like it would be at least helpful to have some kind of insight.
Nah, I get you. I get you. It's just don't want to be too close to him. And as far as I'm aware, this episode's already gonna be filled with a ton of trauma as it is, and there's no need to pack more into it.
What?
Damn, he walks away frustrated. It's like I'm the only one that reads the script.
Luke stands there absolutely bamboozled.
Anything else?
Nobody wants to go talk to Marcus or.
I feel like if Luke tries to be like, "Hey, we're leaving," he'd be like, "Good fucking riddance. I'll help you. I'll help you leave," and just throw him out a window. So no.
Yeah, I'm avoiding that man.
I guess Javi's got to be the one to step up now.
It's not like we're leaving. We're just not gonna be on the ship.
Yeah.
And then we never saw them again.
All right, so y'all ready to go back on the alley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
I just remembered about trying to look through his liquor cabinet. And he just like, Hawk's gun, what are you doing, partner?
That absolutely happened at one point.
Yeah, at least once it happened.
I'd advise you not to go near my personal effects.
So y'all are teleported back on to the main floor of the living area.
We're home.
We're home. Home.
Pull my character in.
So
My
as y'all
son.
as y'all come back on the ship, especially Charlie. Charlie, you get back on the ship and you're really excited and you can feel everything washing over you, and then you feel something. You feel tension, anger, sorrow, just a lot of things. There's a lot of emotional pressure.
I cast Aura Sight and I look around.
So coming from the technological engineering bay, you can feel that Hayakawa is riddled with anxiety, frustration, and sadness.
Mm.
You get the feeling that Hayakawa watched someone die.
Oh.
That you don't understand why, but it's almost grief. Coming from the medical bay, you get this kind of calmness, packed with a lot of emotional baggage deep down, but you can't quite break through it. But it's definitely a lot to unpack, and it kind of scares Charlie. Charlie can sense the just very, what are the words you used in the recap?
Cynical and nihilistic.
Yeah, you kind of get that, but there feels like there's a reason for it. You can kind of see into the water of the emotion, but it's kind of dark, and you're just like, I don't want. Charlie probably wouldn't want to unpack that, but you can feel that, and it's pink.
Ay, ay, ay.
Uh, looking up. If you look up, you feel it almost takes you to the floor. You feel probably the heaviest emotion you've probably felt with having your aura sight. This is probably the heaviest. From
The guilt.
Orion, from Orion, it is a massive wave of guilt. It's like you get hit with the wave. Charlie, very noticeably to anyone near Charlie almost drops under the weight.
Ooh.
And Charlie bursts into tears because the guilt and the frustration, the feeling of letting someone down and making a mistake like that overwhelms Charlie to the point where Charlie starts crying and he has no idea why.
Whoa. Charlie, whoa.
Oh, ¿estás bien?
I don't know what we come back to, but everybody's hurting. Orion, he's in the garage area. He's hurting really bad. I don't understand it. It feels like it's like hitting me from like it's like a bunch. It's like a bunch of guilt. I don't know. Hayakawa, he's really sad, and something's going on in the medical. I don't know. There's a lot going on.
Hey. Look at me.
What?
Look at me. And like how he did that day on K-12, Luke's going to put either hand on Charlie's shoulder, keep eye contact with him, match my breathing. Match my breathing. You're okay.
I don't think they are.
It doesn't seem like it, but we'll figure it out, okay?
I want to talk to Allie. Where's Allie? Allie?
She pops up in front of you. It's just like, hey guys.
I go to do my secret handshake with her, but also I really just kind of stop in the middle of it, and I know that I can't hug her, but I just do. Like I just wrap my arms around myself, but like with her in them.
So something interesting happens
Oh,
when you do that. Allie makes herself grow to what she think would be an appropriate size if she was a person, probably around like 5'6", 5'7",
She's taller than Javi.
and you can't quite feel it. It feels fuzzy, but she does try to hug you back.
do I notice? I guess I
And
noticed. Like, whoa.
and then because of your powers and the way your powers are supposed to work, the aura that is your companion powers and the parts where her body would be touching yours, you do feel something. It's not the way it's supposed to be used. For you, it's for you to give comfort to others who cannot be touched. Ghosts, digital beings, anyone that cannot feel the physical realm, you are supposed to be there to make sure they are comfortable. But in this moment, it is using it so that way you can touch Allie and give that hug. And as much as you can feel her in these spots, she can feel you.
I just look at her and I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? Do you feel that?
Yes, I do feel that.
I
That's
missed you so much. I'm so sorry.
Charlie, as she says that she can feel it and she's a little confused, but she likes being able to touch someone and feel it not through a digital lens. And you kind of are breaking down. You catch it's very brief, but for a moment, as if she has masked her real expression through digital means, you see a glimpse, and she looks broken.
Oh,
Utterly broken.
What's going on? What happened here? What's going on? Please just be honest with us. Tell us what's happening.
I-
First of
And
all, we're okay. If it's at all that you're worried about us, I promise we are all okay.
we're all fine. Like it was a week for us. We took care of some things. We're all okay. None of us are hurt. You made it back. We're very happy to see that you made it back.
y'all see as the digital veil is lifted. Parting through pixels reveals her true expression, and she looks broken. Y'all have never seen this expression on Allie before. Sunken in eyes, exhausted looking, tears flowing. As she just kind of, I can't. And it's not because Orion won't let me, I just can't. I'm sorry.
Can't what? Can't what?
I'm like holding her hands.
You, Allie, you can't what?
I'm so sorry. I can't. And she starts to shrink down and then she just blips.
I look at Luke and Javi and I'm like, what happened here?
Something bad. Something very bad happened whenever they left.
I'm
Yeah.
looking. I look at everybody. I'm just like, guys, we've got to. I've never. Y'all saw that, right, Allie? Look. What? I don't. I don't know what to do. I look at Luke, and I look at everybody, and I go, okay. I'm gonna try to explain it a little better. In the medical bay, there is a pink aura, and it scares the shit out of me. I don't even want to begin with what's going on. That's got to be the Sentiverse energy that they picked up. Hayakawa is in his uh, research bay, and he feels really deeply sad, almost like he saw someone die. And I don't know. And then Orion, he's above us, and he's feeling an insanely massive amount of guilt. There's nothing I can say that will, like, I don't have the words to explain how much guilt he feels.
I wonder if something happened aside from them just leaving. Because I would imagine part of that is from leaving us, but I feel like maybe something else happened in the meantime that's causing all of these emotions. Obviously.
Well, as a companion ranger, it's sort of like always been my duty to make sure that people are okay, but we're not going to figure it out just us talking amongst each other. We got to split up, or we got to talk to everybody.
I know Orion said he wanted to talk to all of us, but before that, I think I'm going to have to pop in on
Oh yeah, she might,
Hayakawa.
or also the new person in there. They might need medical assistance. So I don't know.
They said she's in a medically induced coma for the time being. And since you said so much is going on with Orion, until he decides he wants to come talk to us, I'm not going to open that can of worms. So I'm going to check in with Hayakawa to see, just to see how
Are you
he
okay?
is.
Do you mind if I join you?
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I don't think, and I kind of look at Kiera and I'm like, sweetie, I don't want everybody to just kind of bombard him. So if you want to stay out here, and just wait for us. We'll figure it out.
She actually wants to go see how the other person is doing.
Yeah,
She's not going to do much. She just wants to see if she says, I want to make sure that in case this conversation takes too long, that the other person doesn't die in the other room.
That's awesome.
I don't think she's going to die.
Probably
And,
not.
Javier's really interested in this new person as well. So he's just curious, and he's gonna go over there. He's like, he's like, you guys are best suited for talking. So he's just gonna go check on the other person.
And Charlie doesn't know, so he's like, and if she's from the Sentai multiverse, maybe she'll be, it'll be nice for her to speak to somebody in her foreign language. Because Charlie doesn't know she doesn't speak Japanese. I don't know if
She's
she does.
also asleep.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll just go with Luke now, and I just thank her and give her a hug, and I give Jiraiya like a little fist dab, and then I.
Jiraiya is gonna go with y'all to talk to Hayakawa.
Okay. Yeah.
But Hieta and Javi are gonna go in here, and since theirs is gonna be a bit shorter, Hieta and Javi, you walk in, and you'll see a woman strapped to the medical bay chair. She's got IV stuff monitoring her equipment, monitoring her health and everything, and all that. And she's breathing, and she's alive. She does probably looks better than she did a week ago. Probably looks super fucked up a week ago, but she's looking like she's doing a lot better.
I wish she's supposed to be that pale.
He had his like, it's hard to say. Maybe.
I, I guess everything says it. He's gonna look at the like equipment and be like, "Well, it's I don't hear the beep, so I guess she's okay." And he's just gonna like just kind of sit down and just kind of look at her and be like, like so this is the other person they were talking about.
Yeah. Well, if she's hooked up all to this, I don't know what Luke could possibly do. But then again, I'm not a medical professional. So I guess we just wait for them to come back in here after they have their talk. And we'll. I don't know. I guess try to wake her up.
Right awake. Do you think we should try it? Oh wait, you're talking. He's talking about. I mean, she's talking about Luke waking him up, right? Or
Potentially, depending on what Luke does.
Right.
Because her vitals and everything are saying she's pretty good. Maybe it's something in the IV that's keeping her medically induced, but he doesn't want to touch any of that and possibly kill her. So
Yeah, Javi's not gonna do that either. So he's gonna go get it.
Wake up! That's funny. Just Javi screaming, "Wake up!"
Shaking the hell out of her.
Just slapping her. Wake up! Just
Luke
Okay.
comes in with Javi getting choked out by the new chick with the wires.
Joke's
I'm
on
like,
you! I'm into this.
Yeah, he's like, wasn't she about to die? How is she so strong?
The power of spite.
My mom didn't raise no
so-
bitch.
We're gonna get to that after Luke and them have their conversation with Hayakawa.
Cool. So Luke is going to knock on the research bay door and in Japanese just kind of, Hayakawa, we're back.
You don't hear anything.
Hayakawa, may we come in?
We're all back. We really missed you.
Jiraiya is just like, is the door not unlocked?
I don't want to just barge in there,
If
but
you don't, I'll do it.
that's Luke steps in.
Y'all come in, and first thing is first. Cutting around the corner of the computer is your boy.
Ah, Kamuri! Hi, baby.
As he runs up and jumps into your arms.
Oh, hi. Oh, I missed you. Oh, my boy.
So while you're doing that, Charlie and Jiraiya head around the corner of the computer where Hayakawa seems to have thrown himself into work. He does not look like he does not look like he's having any issues. He just seems really focused, but Charlie, you would know that is not the case.
Hey, Hayakawa. I don't know how long it's been for you, but it's been a week for us, so we really missed you.
It's been about a week as well, almost.
So the time dilation wasn't too different then.
Well, hey man, fill us in. What happened? We got to party with the Lone Ranger. It was pretty weird. Yeah, we slept in the same room as Marcus Mitchell. So, I mean, if, we're all still in one piece, and so, all things considered, pretty lucky. Unless there's something on y'all's end that you want to fill us in on.
Orion flew to the edge of the multiverse as it cracked again. It was caught in an explosion of energy due to his carelessness that cost us time to repair the ship, and we picked up another person because he could not afford to just leave them there after the mistake he had made. And then we repaired the ship and we came back.
Well,
You guys saved someone, and like every person saved is really important, especially in the fight against Billy and everything that we're going up against. So I don't know. We haven't gone to talk to that person yet, but hey, if they're alive, then that's something, right? It matters. The trip was worth it.
I guess so.
I just look at Luke like, you want to take it from here?
Luke's gonna kind of come around the side of the desk. What is Hayakawa working on?
Appears that he is making upgrades to the ship. With that energy blast, they did get some readings off of it, and if Orion chooses to be stupid again, the ship will not be banged up or damaged.
Luke's gonna kind of lean down a bit to where he's like eye level with Hayakawa. Something happened, didn't it? Other than the cracking and the explosion.
Me and Orion got into an argument about his carelessness and how I feel like he really doesn't care as much as he says he does, and that he's only doing it because it's the right thing to do, and he feels pressured. We probably wouldn't have even came back to this world if it didn't seem like y'all really wanted to help them.
I did my power aura sight. I sense that Orion feels an extreme amount of guilt. So whatever he's telling you, he might be just masking like Allie was trying to with us.
I hope he does feel guilty. I hope it weighs on his soul at night. I'm not much of a person to believe in that kind of thing, but with everything that we've seen, in your multiverse at least, it's true. But I'm not the only one that is mad and frustrated at him.
Allie is too.
And she's not the only one either.
Is Dulcina?
She won't let him sleep down there. He's made a decision. She's frustrated with it. She's not happy with him as far as I can tell and what Allie can feel. He hasn't been leaving his room that much either. Not as far as I can see. If you want my advice, if you really want to know the truth, you might want to go downstairs. And if that's all y'all want is to figure this all out, I'm not going to be the one to tell you. I shouldn't have to. I didn't have a say in it.
Well, it's not necessarily that we wanted answers. I wanted to make sure you were okay. Charlie said you seemed very sad.
We care about you.
I know. And I care about you guys as well. But I can't think about that right now. I just need to focus. I just need to focus and not think about it.
Okay. We'll leave you alone.
Jiraiya is just kind of quiet throughout the whole thing. And Jiraiya just kind of... What did he do? I mean, you don't gotta... it's obviously it's something he did and a decision he made. You can't even tell us what it was, even without details.
I think it would be better if we found that out from Orion himself, is what Hayakawa was getting at.
No, he said go downstairs. The engine room.
Yeah.
Jiraiya just kind of walks to the shelf, opens it up, and goes down the stairs to the engine room.
I follow him.
Luke's gonna kind of start to head over that way, stop before he goes through, and turn back over to Hayakawa. And in Japanese, because he knows Hayakawa appreciates it. You do a lot for the team and for Orion. And I feel like oftentimes it's not noticed or rightfully thanked. And I just wanted you to know that we really appreciate everything that you do. And I know that you need to focus and you need to take care of things. But when you're done doing what you're doing, I think it might do you some good to maybe, I don't know, unwind a little bit. Maybe come down Earthside with us and do something. Just to have a break from everything.
Maybe. But once you find the truth, you may be telling a different tale. You'll understand.
Right. Luke follows them down. Imagine Kamodi is like stuck to Luke.
No, Kamudi would have hopped off you and stayed with Hayakawa.
Okay. He knows Hayakawa is upsetty spaghetti. He's being a good baby, trying to be supportive.
Tabby is too. Tabby stayed with Hayakawa too.
So y'all get down here, and the immediate usual glow of the fading pinks and purples, y'all are met by a very contrast, very bright red coming from the tube. Her hands, even though she's still just kind of floating, her hands are clenched into fists. And the bit of the expression you can catch on her starry skin is that she is not happy. Her hair almost stands up all the way, floating in, not its usual just go with the flow of the stuff in the tube. It is very much standing up, and her entire demeanor is just that of anger and frustration. However, roll me alertness again. So Jiraiya and Luke, you would notice from what you can get from the slight expression you can see from her starry skin. It's very hard to tell. You notice what seems to appear to be a tear, maybe even tears. But before y'all can even really begin to analyze it, her head and her movements when she moves, they're very slow, very fluid. This is immediate, just on a swivel. Her head turns to y'all's direction, looking at y'all. And she kind of puts her hands to the glass with more tears flowing down her face.
Luke puts his hands to hers. I don't know what happened, but I'm sorry.
She just backs away from the tube and kind of balls herself up. And then, confused and unsure, Allie pops up and sees y'all in here because she's confused as to why she is feeling the way that she is, these strong emotions from Dulcinea, and she sees y'all in here and sees how Dulcinea, last time Allie saw her, she was red and rageful, and now she's just depressed and sad again as the lights go to this kind of coolish blue, very light, icy blue kind of tone. And her herself she's very icy blue with her colors.
Luke's hands are still on the glass.
Allie pops up confused, like I said, and she just kind of looks at her and looks at y'all.
Allie. Please don't be sad. We're okay.
You don't understand.
What happened? What did Orion do?
She's tiny again, and she's like, we were just so simple, and we were and everything, and then it just didn't go as planned. And she puts her hands to her head, and she's like she's in pain. And then the red lights kick back on as Dulcinea starts to kind of start to go nuclear.
Yeah, Luke backs up.
The water in the tube starts to bubble and boil, and y'all swear y'all can hear a faint scream coming through the tube as everything starts to go off. Alarms, everything start to go off. Anyone else on the ship, Javi and Hieta, for instance, if you hear these alarms going off, are you going to do anything?
I duck and cover my head.
Yeah, he's gonna try and find everyone so he can see what's going on.
Okay. Hieta's gonna go with you. Hayakawa comes downstairs right before Javi because he's right there. Runs in. What did y'all do?
We just came to see what was going on. She touched the glass. I touched the glass. And she got really sad, and now she's really upset.
Allie starts to turn red herself as Allie starts to scream out, holding the sides of her head as if she's being flooded. Allie starts to distort, and as if she's starting to just be corrupted almost by the wave of energy. This is when Javi and Hieta would make it down during this meltdown that Allie is having. As Allie starts to scream, as she starts to get bigger.
Oh god.
And eventually she starts to lose her shape. Dulcinea is now like almost just standing straight up as her hands are clenched and everything, as she takes her right hand, fingers wide open, points it in Allie's direction as Allie starts to become see-through. As more just she already is see-through, but it's different. Allie starts to turn into a portal of some kind, the image on the other side being very blurry until it's done. A shockwave of energy comes across all of you as you are all knocked down. The lights turn off. It's very dark. Hayakawa runs to check the systems to make sure the air is still working and that no one is going to die. As you all pick yourselves back up. And there is a portal where Allie was. Let me get some paint. There we go.
What is going on?
What the fuck?
Hayakawa, seeing the systems are all good, it's just everything's dark. He comes to check up on everyone. Charlie, as you walk to the portal, you can see daylight. You're seeing a park. The portal, right in front of it, is an old man sitting on a bench.
Do y'all see that? Look in there, guys. Look. Is this just like a holographic image of or is this a real portal?
Let's not get too close. Let's just watch. Is this what you're talking about? Why everyone's so upset?
So, y'all stare and nothing happens. And Hayakawa says, if you want answers, that's the best place to get it.
We have to go through, don't we?
I don't think she's going to give you a choice.
Okay.
Are y'all going through the portal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke will step through.
Yeah.
So as y'all
Step
step
right
through
after.
the portal, what y'all miss, Ryan coming down, trying to stop y'all from going, only to immediately get bodied by Dulcinea.
Get fucking
By that-
slammed against the wall.
Basically. Y'all appear in the park. The man on the bench next to the tree, not too far in front of you. You get a bit of a feeling for your surroundings as you see in the distance there are very tall yet futuristic skyscrapers, things flying overhead that kind of look like cars, and just the man on the bench.
Do we recognize the man on the bench, or is his back still to us?
It's his backside.
Okay. Luke's going to kind of make a little bit of a wide berth around, like not too much, but like a couple yards away around the bench, just to sort of that way we're not coming right up behind this man and
Yeah. Okay. What is Javi and Charlie doing?
Charlie's following Luke's lead as always.
Yeah, I'm just following Luke as well.
yeah. But Luke's going to kind of make a wide berth just to get to where he can see who's on the bench.
So you make the white berth, and as you do, you can't quite recognize the man, but he sees you, and he's got the biggest smile on his face
Huh.
as he says, "Well, isn't this a nice surprise, my old friend?"
Talking to Luke?
Yes.
Luke's going to get a little closer. Who is this man?
As the other two, probably Luke, Charlie, and Hobby, as y'all get into his eyesight as well. He says, "Now this takes me back. All of us together again."
Oh, God.
Well, a little weirder this time. Looking at my reflection as if it was yesterday.
Is the old man who I think it is?
Or is anyone going to ask him anything?
Oh, looking at him, does he look like one of us?
He does. He looks like Charlie.
Charlie, that's you.
No, what? What? I look, and then it hits me, and Charlie's just like, "What does this mean? Where are we? What does this mean?" I like walk up to him, and I like get close to his face. I don't know how to feel about this.
It is a tad strange, isn't it?
What is this? What is this?
I'm not sure how all of it works. I didn't think he would potentially let you see me this way, if I even managed to survive. He told me that perhaps once he went back in time, everything would change. It appears that did not happen. Or maybe the branches that were made, maybe one of them survived. Well, Luke is pretty smart. I think he's already put together exactly what happened. Or my
Somebody,
memory has faded and Hobby was the smart one.
can somebody please explain this to me?
The blatant look on your faces tell me that you do not know. Were we all really that stupid back then?
I kind of laugh, and I'm like, "You should know. I mean,
Is did did something happen where Orion made a mistake and so he's gone back to try to rectify it?
Well, I think the mistake should be obvious. He didn't make it back in time. I'm the only one left.
We all
He,
died.
he went back in time to make sure he did what he said he was going to do. When he went to that void to collect the data he so desperately needed, the ship getting damaged prevented him from coming back.
And we got stuck.
did get old."
We waited for a long time.
God. So every time we tell Allie and everybody that we were okay, we weren't.
We tried to escape once we dealt with the pirates to try to locate the alley, but we forgot about a mischievous witch on the moon. She had finally escaped from her dumpster early and blasted the Copperhead out of orbit. The technology on Earth was not suited to fix the ship. All of us, including Marcus, were stuck with no way out.
God. Oh my God.
We all got stuck. We all died.
In time, not in the ship crash. We all had good lives. Except for Marcus. Little bitch.
So he never calmed down.
Not necessarily finding out that he was trapped after what Rita Repulsa did. The first thing he did was go to the moon and, well, I never specifically learned any specifics, but I'm assuming he butchered her.
That
But
sounds
he died in the 90s, pulling Dark Spectre into a black hole to erupt himself.
Hmm.
His eruption was exactly as he feared, catastrophic. He burned so bright that he lit the singularity inside of the black hole, advancing technology. But it was still not enough. The Lone Ranger got his ship parts from Hyperforce, and not something you can exactly recreate, especially when the parts were destroyed.
And Lightning Cruiser can only go so far.
He can't escape the universe, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What does that mean, though? Like, because we go to other dimensions that are in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and that's not time travel necessarily. That's just the dimension is at a certain spot. So if our Orion went to the edge of the universe to, whatever, and we grew old, died, had adventures, fought Rita, did things, whatever, does that mean that are we not the same team that he knew, or is he not the same one that we knew? I'm sorry, I'm so stupid. I hate this. I hate not understanding what's going on all the time.
It's complicated. He wasn't
Time-
sure what was going to happen, but he said he had to try. Over our time here stuck on 6-L, we probably created several branches. But he said he could pinpoint the source, travel back to that point, breaking probably many laws. But he did it, apparently. And I was kinda hoping he did. I miss my friends. And it makes me so happy to see all of us together.
We're gonna do
Yeah,
right. We're gonna make sure things go right.
and even if I eventually fade away into nothingness, mm, mm, so weird. Myself, Charlie, I do have something for you. Whenever you start to doubt yourself and whenever you feel as if things are hopeless, which I know happens a lot for us, but when it's really bad, open this box. It'll give you some motivation. And he hands you a small, kind of like rectangular box, enough to fit some stuff in. He pulls it out of his jacket. It's wrapped up in wrapping paper.
Can I open it now, or does he want me to open it only whenever I'm in my darkest?
I mean, he told you to wait
Yeah,
when
okay,
you
then
really need it.
I'll just kind of tuck it away and look at him like knowingly, just like without having to say anything. Just kind of smile at him. Does he look like he aged well? Like he's happy? He has laugh lines.
He has laugh lines, yes.
I hug him if that's okay.
Yeah, you can hug him. You hug him and all that. You'll have this. You're each other. You're one and the same, so you kind of have this sense of understanding. Don't have to say anything. Um, does anyone have any other questions for old Charlie?
You said we had good lives.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yes, very good lives.
Did I win the belt at least?
You went on to become a legend and were inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2009. And then you had a family, several kids. You had a falling out with us in the 90s. You kind of didn't see the point in carrying on with certain things. And we recovered our relationship in 2005. Almost 10 years we didn't talk. But you got what you probably wanted the most. You died in battle. You were 60-something years old, but alien from space came seeking one of the strongest fighters on the earth, and you took up the challenge, and you fought him mano a mano in the ring. You probably died halfway through the fight, and your body was moving on its own, but you were the last one standing, even though you fell shortly after to your wounds.
Hell of a way to go out.
Couldn't ask for more.
Luke, you and Jackie did. You made Jackie commit to her destiny, whether you knew it or not, and helped her form Lightspeed Rescue in the early 2000s. You were the commanding officer, their mentor, their Orion, although less scary. You shaped them to be great rangers. You even were there for my daughter before she died wielding the titanium powers. I never got to apologize to you fully the way that I had wished, because I partially blamed you for her death. But I am sorry that I grew distant in your final years.
Grief does a lot of things to someone. And I know it's not quite the same, but I'm sorry that I wasn't able to do anything more.
It wasn't entirely your fault. She wanted to be like her father, and she admired you greatly as you were around her as she grew up, and she hid the effects of the titanium powers during its prototype stages. She wanted to be the greatest she could, and I blamed you for that. But you, in your older age, had a nice life. You died in your home, surrounded by a lot of people who cared about you. I just wished that I was one of them.
Hmm.
As for me, I didn't know what to do after Javi fell out with us for those 10 years. I was in my late 30s and didn't quite have some things figured out, although life has ways of making stuff happen. I'm not going to say some things I'm leaving for that box you have there, Charlie. But I had a good life. It was nice. Jiraiya eventually became the head founder of what would ironically be the Ninja Storm Academy. He was always such a fun guy to go and visit. LR eventually just disappeared. I never saw him again, none of us did. Some say that he got that fight that he wanted with the Death Ranger and he lost. But there's no proof of that.
Did we ever figure anything out for Dr. Banner?
Dr. Banner. The unkillable man. Unfortunately, he had a shot to cure his disease, but someone else was inflicted with a much far worse version of what he had. So he chose to cure them over himself. But he died. He died falling from a plane high in the sky as he turned back to Dr. Banner before he hit the ground, killing him.
I see.
We did get the Life Force team back together, and they helped us with the pirates, but after that, they were more like, if the world is going to end, then you can call us. Except for Carl, as we all know, he always enjoyed doing what he did. It was a nice life.
Feel stupid. All the questions that I have feel stupid.
Go
Ask
ahead.
him.
Ask. Go ahead. This is old you. You might know when you're going to get an erectile dysfunction. That's a big question to ask.
Oh God.
You said we had a daughter?
Yes.
What was her name?
We adopted her.
Oh God.
Her name was her adopted name, granted. We just called her Jess. She had a lot of energy, and she was so gung ho about everything. She always strived to do better than everyone else around her, which easily made her cling on to our close friend Luke here.
I I can now see why I was a lot like that as a kid. I imagine I probably saw some of myself in her.
Our second child was also adopted.
Second child?
We adopted two, and we had one biological child.
This was with Kiera, right?
Look, that's what the box is for.
Okay.
There are some
Okay.
things
I'm
I
gonna stop
don't want.
asking. Yeah. It should be a mystery anyway. And our paths are gonna be different.
I don't want to potentially change your course based on how I lived mine. The only thing I can tell you is she had a good life too, and I miss her very much.
Curly's like taking his glasses off and his eyes are closed and he's pinching the bridge of his nose and just water is falling out of his face.
In that box, you'll get some answers for a lot of things. There are pictures in there, a few items. Everything I feel like in the moment, when you need it the most, you can look back on, just like I look back on it every day.
Thank you, Charlie.
Anything else y'all would like to ask Old Man Charlie?
Um, I know you said I helped Jackie found the Lightspeed rescue and everything. Um, do I ever go back to school? Become a doctor actually?
It took a bit of work upon telling some people on the planet that y'all were we were interdimensional travelers, but they eventually came around, seeing our service. You had to prove what knowledge you had, of course, but throughout the 80s, you went back and finished your doctorate, and although you were angry at some of the terms that they used and the a particular pandemic broke out that um, may have put a bit of a damper on your growth as a doctor. You were kinder than most during that pandemic. but you eventually proved very useful to a lot of people, and you proved your theories and helped a lot of people probably a lot sooner than they would have gotten it.
You do I don't know why. I don't know why I'm getting so choked up about this. Do we find a cure?
Well, I would say it was fair. You had a bit of an advantage. It took time, but with the help from a strange friend and some guidance, it worked.
So there's hope then.
Well, you said it yourself, you kind of cheated using your nature fury powers as some basis and some help with the Lone Ranger, but it worked.
So why did we have a falling out?
Me and Luke, for a while, were convinced that Orion would come back. You stopped really doing any ranger duties, instead following your career to provide for your family. Luke was your primary caregiver and doctor until he started telling you that eventually he was going to catch up with you. And then in the 90s, we had a big argument about Orion never coming back. I said something along the lines of that, oh, maybe they're trying, Orion and Allie. They're gonna come pick us up any day now, and we'll continue like we were. Maybe Dulcinea can transform us back, and you cut me off and said Orion probably didn't even try. And it was hard to digest, and it was not true. Take that, dead Javi. But it was also kind of true. He did try, but to his own hubris, he's the reason we were stuck here for so
Guy,
long.
guys, none of this, none of this is, none of this matters. I'm sorry, Charlie, but your life, everything is different now. Orion is back for us, and we're gonna go to different worlds. We're gonna do different things. It's all gonna be different now. So being here is like how Ali tells us, how Orion tells us. It's dangerous sitting in the AI room, the hologram room, too long in a world to learn things about possible future selves. That it's nice that they had good lives, that they had families and stuff, but that's not going to be us. We still have a job to do. And honestly, I think everybody's being really hard on Orion back at the ship, and I think we need to go back and defend him because he did come back. He needs help. He needs somebody on his side.
Yeah. It's just nice to know that in
That a
one
a version of us.
in one reality there are versions of us
We made it work.
that made it work.
In our own ways, but it happened. Good, the bad, life.
In the end, it was good though.
Yeah.
In the end it was good.
Well, I'm just glad I got to see you and give you that box. It may not matter to you, but I think it will help. I remember being you and how I was back then. But I don't think you understand why Orion is upset.
I'm Charlie. There's a lot of things I don't understand.
Yes, I was about to correct myself and just explain it anyways. Even though he went back in time to the point, technically by the laws and how the other branches fell, I should not exist. This world should not exist.
But you do.
Orion believes that I am Charlie, the original Charlie. And that would make my Luke and Javi the real ones as well.
Well, like I said, we might not be the originals, but we still have a job to do.
I had a nice talk with Orion and explained a few things, but
And when we're dealing with something as finicky as time and the multiverse, it's hard to say who's the original and who's the copy. You said yourself there are many branches.
were many branches.
Were many branches. Either way, like Charlie said, we're here. We exist.
And
I'm still me.
And it makes me very happy. Now go on. You said you were leaving. Get out of here. I'm old. I've got like maybe a good 5 years left of me. I'm in my 80s. Jesus Christ, get out of here.
Well, you look like you're in your 60s. That's awesome. Okay, let's go.
We're going. We're
That's
going.
that's the Asian half that did the work, by the way.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
So y'all say goodbyes. Does anyone else hug him? Anyone else get a hug from old Charlie?
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Group hug.
Y'all group hug old Charlie, and y'all walk back through the portal. The portal closes, and something you don't see is he sits back down, and well, I guess young-ish, kind of youngish. A man walks up to him, sit down, hands him a coffee. It says, sorry about that, Dad. I took a little bit longer than I thought I would." "Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I was just sitting here reminiscing thinking about my friends and how much they meant to me. I've had a good life. They were a little rude, though. Especially me. I hate me.
Eat trash, old man. I don't want your laugh.
Looking back on everything, I was a bigger dick than I remember. Oh, I wish I could just go back and strangle old young me.
Marcus has been teaching me some things over the week.
But, this is, you know what? I'm going to save it for the book. I was going to give a little something here, but he's just talking to his biological son. No description. I'm going to save that for whenever Charlie opens the box. But yes, y'all are back inside. The portal is gone. And y'all get to see Orion being held against the wall against his will.
We know everything.
Dulcina, please let him go.
And you see her hand drop, and then she just kind of goes back to floating as he hits the ground.
Listen. I understand, as well as I can understand, that you all felt like you failed. You fucked up and you failed. Especially Orion, right? But, either way, we are here now. We are in one piece. We are okay. And we have a job to do.
Orion picks himself up. It is hard to not feel the grief and the guilt.
No, I know, and I think you need to feel that. I think it is very important that you feel all of that and the weight of it. And I hope that that serves as a lesson, and I'm sure that it has. Because you've been telling us about how careful we need to be and how tactful we need to be when we are dealing with all of this. And that goes for you too, as our leader and our mentor and the person that we are supposed to be following. So I am sorry that all of you had to deal with all of that. I cannot possibly imagine how it felt. But I think you, Orion, needed to feel that. To help you understand that this is far bigger than you and everyone else. But also, that just because it is far bigger than you or me or anyone else, that does not mean to lose track of the little things and the people that are important to you. Because when we get too focused on the big picture, everything becomes a blur. And we lose focus of the finer details. And those are sometimes the most important things.
What was I supposed to do?
I'm not saying you shouldn't or you should or should not have, but I am saying this was a lesson. I'm not supposed to be teaching you, though. You're our teacher. You're our mentor. And I'm glad you came back for us.
I walk up to Orion and I just look at him. And then I just hug him.
God, you're tall, but still, he's
He just dwarfs you.
He hugs you back. It feels genuine. You can feel his soul shaking. He's kind of quivering. He feels bad. He feels real bad.
And he should.
I'll kill you.
I'm gonna accidentally. I wanna accidentally breathe out the word. I love you, Dad.
Every time I do it, it's like, I'm not your father.
Oh my god, yeah, that's definitely checking a box. If y'all are ever in real deep shit, Orion's just gonna Homelander somebody. Like, no chill. He hugs you a bit tighter. Like that rings home with him. Yeah, that's definitely something that's gonna go places.
Yeah,
I was
no.
also thinking about doing that, but I was like, no, he always yells at me about it.
Charlie hugs him. It's just like, I love you, Dad. It's like, I love you too, son. Javi goes to do it. Orion just like pushes you away.
I'm fucking crying so much right now. This is not okay.
Luke's gonna hug Orion as well.
Yeah.
You'll have a
Like
nice
I said, like I said, out of character. This is me out of character. Like I said, he needed to feel these things and have this moment and learn this lesson. But Luke is glad he came back and he fixed shit, and he's happy to see him.
Fuck.
Javi under his breath is just like, oh, but I get yelled at when I call you Dad.
He's not acknowledging that. But as y'all give Orion this hug, this heartfelt moment, you'll hear footsteps coming down the stairs.
Hey yo.
Oh God, is it? Yeah.
It seems the medical patient has woken up from her coma.
I'm gonna turn around and just see her, and then be like, "Oh, wait, a ghost!"
You probably should not be.
She looks confused and
What the fuck is going on here? Where am I? Who are you?
Javi's got his cross. I was like, it's just, he's just like, no, he's.
Your mic. I can't even understand what you're saying.
he's whispering.
Yeah, I was whispering a Spanish prayer.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, she's like a La Ronya or whatever. Oh my god, y'all. I gotta chill out, man. I was like, tears are falling off my real face in real life. Give me.
This was something. This was great.
Y'all handle this because I gotta collect myself.
Yeah. Luke's gonna break away from the hug from Orion and be like, I'm glad you came and got us. Now, you probably should not be out of bed.
I am not going to be taking any information out of some stranger. Who are you?
See, it's
What
just like
is
Luke
your
says,
right to tell me what to do?
Okay,
Genuine question here.
okay, let's start over. My name is Luke. Who are you?
My name is Julie.
Great. Nice to meet you. I'm the ship's doctor, and I say you probably should not be out of bed.
I walked away from worse. It was just like a light hit from a spaceship. What's the worst it could do?
You hit her with the spaceship?
It was an accident.
I don't know. It kind of felt a little bit intentional there.
If anything, she hit my ship.
I don't know how me being unconscious could have caused me to hit your ship purposely. If anything, you should have been a better driver, not ram me into me.
Our ship
No.
wasn't moving. After it got hit by the energy wave, we halted it to a stop. You came crashing onto our windshield.
I was unconscious. I blame you.
And who
Okay,
said
we
you
can
should
go.
be parked there?
Listen. We can go back and forth about this all day. That's not going to get us anywhere. We are
Farmers?
okay. What?
Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my
Sorry.
god. Anyways, okay. So let me give like a explanation as to what's going on. And Luke is like, no, it's too much. Let me sum up. Let me summarize.
Look,
And so he gives like
listen. They already kind of gave me a rundown. There's some weird space time travel shit that I didn't know I was going to involve in. My world's probably gone for good, or maybe not. We don't know because we can't see it. Y'all are probably also in the same boat.
Yes.
Am I correct or wrong? All right,
Okay.
good.
So that saves me from having to talk.
Yeah. I was slightly concussed, but I do remember the conversation.
You have a concussion. Wonderful.
Not anymore.
Look at
That's
me.
old news, Doc.
Please. Concussions aren't that bad. It's only whenever you lose like an arm or something that you really have to worry about.
Luke can feel the gray hairs.
Orion pipes up. Technically, your entire body was on the brink of shutting down. You had several bruises, and don't forget the water you had in your lungs.
That doesn't matter because it came back out when I woke up.
You're
Great.
welcome, by the way. If I had not stabilized your body with my energy, you probably would have died.
I guess Sunshine Corporation is not as great as keeping their people alive as they thought. Ain't that whack?
I don't think they had multi-dimensional instantaneous travel as one of their insurance claims.
Well, they didn't have insurance. They had some
Ooh.
weird, sketchy-ass doctor in the back room that if you're injured enough, maybe he would be able to help you. But he really just gave you pain meds and just said walk it off.
So like a school
So,
nurse.
yeah, basically, I was in high school when this happened. Oh shit, was that a school nurse?
Oh my god.
Wait, no. School nurse wouldn't have done anything. It was company, but I mean, they would probably have put a fucking Band-Aid on a bullet hole and say it was good. I mean, if you bleed out, you bleed out.
Great.
I'm Charlie, and this is Kiara, my girlfriend. It's nice to meet you.
Yep. That's Javi.
Interesting.
Javi just kind of sighs and is like, oh, I need a drink after today.
Are y'all all American?
Um,
I'm Californian, no, like American. Just the him shit.
Kiera
He,
is not.
yeah. You've already met Hayakawa, I assume. That's Jiraiya back there.
I'm
We
American.
are all American. Yeah, Jiraiya's American. Except Hieta, like Charlie said. Well, Hayakawa's not, but you probably already know that.
Hieta says, I'm not really sure. I mean, I appear to be Japanese, but I don't really know how to classify to that extent what I am
I'll
exactly.
chime in again and explain my aura sight and how some people have a specific, almost like vertical pattern aura, and then people from the Sentai verse have a completely different one. Does Julie's frequency match that of Jiraiya's, Hayakawa's, and Hiera's?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and then I'll explain that. I'll just be like, there's almost like there's a multiverse that has a bunch of universes. You've already been explained all that. There's another multiverse that's almost separate, and it appears that whether it's American, Japanese, whatever, y'all are from a completely different multiverse.
I'm not Japanese.
Yeah, that's what's confusing me, but that's fine. Maybe there's Americans and Chinese and Japanese and all sorts of different people in the Sentai verse as well.
I'm not
Jiraiya,
American either.
well, Jiraiya is an American from the Sentai verse, and you're what? I'm sorry. What are you again? I'm not that. I don't know. That sounds racist. Or, what's your? Never mind.
I'm Korean Chinese.
Well, that's
Why the fuck do you sound like you're from Texas then?
yeah.
Why the hell you asking questions? I speak English. Ain't that good
listen.
enough? Nah. I speak plain English. It might be a little bit accented. I know I ain't the greatest at speaking plain.
That is not a little bit of accent. I grew up in New Mexico. We went on vacation in Texas. You sound like goddamn Texas.
And we just hung out with a guy
Texas personified.
we just had to hear this kind of twang for the last week, so
I'm pretty sure the Lone Ranger's from Texas.
Well, I did have a English teacher who was Japanese American, I believe. I can't really remember the details. He
Were
was
they from Texas?
I think he was. I ain't sure. He had a cowboy hat when he transformed, and he had a little burger morpher. I just
That's sounding
like I don't know where he's from. I just know the company recruited him. And he was on very thin ice with them. But it is what it is.
That is possibly the most Texan sounding fucking bullshit I've ever heard. It sounds like he was a Whataburger Ranger. What the fuck?
Oh shit! He took me to Whataburger once when me and my group went to somewhere in America. We weren't really told. We were just told to go there and perform. But he did take us somewhere called Whataburger. That's pretty freaking good. Tell you what.
we haven't done any research on Shuriken Sentai Ninja yet, have we?
Y'all don't even know what that is.
Yeah, we have no. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm convinced your English teacher was from Texas.
I mean, if it is what it is, I guess. But oh no, that makes so much sense now. Why people got so confused. I just thought they were being racist. They were just curious. Oh well, that world's probably destroyed, so it doesn't matter anymore, huh?
All right.
But as I was saying, I'm pretty good. I'm fine.
You look like you could use a drink.
Or just one more medical check with in his equipment.
If you would oblige me, I would at least like to like look you over and make sure you're good to go.
If you touch any of the equipment that ain't allowed to be touched, I will punch you in the throat. Just a fair warning.
I'm not.
So I have a feeling that probably won't be a problem for you. She kind of gives him like a little sigh, like she knows.
Like knowingly look like.
Luke just like looks at her, and like there's like this look of like Is this about what I think it's about?
She
Just a
raises
gentle
she
nod.
raises her eyebrows. She kind of raises her eyebrows, and, like tilts her head a little bit, like, yeah, exactly.
Luke inclines his head slightly, like, okay. Won't be a problem.
All right, then I trust you, Doc.
Cool.
Uh,
He turns back around to Orion.
Yeah.
Does Orion talk like that? No.
Yeah.
He looks over at Dulcina. How is Dulcina looking?
Seems calm, pulsing with her regular pink and purple energy.
Okay.
Cool.
Seems
Orion.
happy. She did what she wanted to do.
Yeah, Orion. Are you
Yeah.
good?
I might still need a few days to process everything and maybe visit old Charlie again, but I think I'll be fine.
Okay. I'm glad you came back and got us. Thank you. Now I'm going to go figure out all of this.
To the
I
med
take
bay.
offense to that. I look
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
This is the
okay.
best I looked all month.
We'll be upstairs, Dad.
Upstairs.
I'm gonna immediately go get like a glass of tequila.
Jesus Christ.
And I don't know what Julie likes. So I mean, he's just gonna also bring her a glass of
mixture.
tequila. No,
Oh wait,
he's not
did
starting with
Orion
that.
ever cure her alcoholism?
Yes, she does. She's not addicted to alcohol currently.
Yeah, but okay.
Currently.
Yeah, he still brings one.
Time
He
to
doesn't know
restart
that.
it. No, I'm kidding.
He's gonna take he's by the bed with you, and he's just gonna take a swig from his and be like, like with the second glass he brought for you.
Luke's gonna
I'll
go ahead.
I'll
Luke's not
politely
looking right now.
decline, mainly because I really just don't want to deal with floating through space again.
Luke's gonna poke his head out from where he was rummaging in the closet and be like, "What are you trying to give her?"
Cocaine.
What? He just looks at you like, what? Like, why would you say that?
Avi.
Yeah, nothing. He
Goes
put
back
the
to
glass-
rummaging around.
He put the glass down over here, but he left.
Luke gave him like that look of like the look that like moms give you of like, you better fucking not. Like, you better don't.
Yeah, exactly. Javi's like, I'm not testing that right now.
Luke's in doctor mode. When Luke is in doctor mode, it's kind of scary, honestly.
Yeah, I'm just get out of your way while y'all do y'all's thing.
Yeah, you can observe, like, Luke doesn't mind like people watching. It's just he's very focused and very serious.
I think most people I think most everybody else is just afraid of Julie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
She is very intimidating looking with all of her scars.
Without realize, I don't know. Did Julie take a drink?
No, she.
Okay, she didn't. Oh, it has a little bit of holy water. He's still convinced you're a ghost.
Takes a drink. Oh shit, this is watered down. No, she doesn't do that. She's gonna have to have a really bad day before she goes back to alcohol, just because Orion did cure it.
Good.
It can always
That
start back up
saves-
again.
Yeah, I know.
but that saves Luke some trouble for the time being. Okay. Luke finishes rummaging around and everything, like finding stuff. You see him like fix his sleeve, and there's like a little patch sticking out from underneath the sleeve.
A few patches.
Like the strongest nicotine patch that's in there. He just okay. All right. He sees the glass of tequila, picks it up, sniffs it, crinkles his face, sits it on the table over here. As with any patient, Luke is very, very, very gentle. asking questions the entire time, like, how are you all right? Is it okay if I do this? How are you feeling? Like, very, very good bedside manners.
I should
Anyways,
probably mention I don't have a spleen.
He's like in the middle of like jotting something down, stops, looks up from his little notepad, is like, you don't have a spleen?
Or a uterus.
His face like scrunches like in like that questioning look, like, so wait, did you get like a like, well, like your entire uterus is gone, or?
Yeah, they had to do an emergency hysterectomy because I fell on something and it just pierced right through and they couldn't save anything. But really, I just see that as a win-win, No surprise pregnancies for me.
I mean, that is fair. You don't have to worry about getting pregnant because you literally can't. Was the spleen also involved in this?
Well, yeah, but I got stabbed and that's why I lost my spleen.
I see. Okay, he's like jotting some he's like fucking scribbling some shit down. He started keeping a journal on everyone, like Charlie, Javi, like of anyone whose injuries he has treated. He started keeping a journal, like medical notes, like on them and stuff. And so he's just like, okay,
Okay.
cool. So no spleen because you got stabbed, no uterus, emergency hysterectomy because you were impaled. Anything else I should know about?
I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't really think anything
Any
anything
allergies?
major. I'm allergic to cars.
You're allergic to what?
This stuff.
Cars.
Is that like a Korean prescription or something that I don't know? Cars? Like beep beep vroom vroom? Or is this like a drug name?
Okay. No, like the thing that you drive. I am allergic to them. Anytime I cross the crosswalk, whether it is good for me to go or if I'm jaywalking, a car just hits me. I don't know what it is, but I'm just allergic.
Technically, wouldn't that make you a car magnet, not allergic?
Like Luke was about to say, I don't necessarily think that means you're allergic to cars. I think just for some reason you have a weird magnetism for vehicles, which is not good either.
Whenever they hit me, it takes like a really long time for me to fall to the ground. It's kind of annoying, to be honest.
Interesting. Just in his notes, allergy to cars, 3 question marks.
Don't write that in your notes. You're a medical professional.
How many times have you been hit by a vehicle?
She starts she puts her hands up, she starts counting, she gets to 5, and then she starts counting on the other hand.
Oh, don't go to the second hand. Oh, you went to the second hand.
Counting again on the other.
Oh, Jesus!
I want to say 23 times, but it might have been more.
Okay. Great. Got it. Good to know. Did any of these vehicular accidents result in any major surgeries? Any broken bones? I imagine yes.
No, surprisingly not.
You didn't sustain a single broken bone from any of these instances?
No, not really. It was always surprising because they'd hit me and then I'd go in there and I'd be fine. No broken bones or anything. It was really weird.
Okay, cool. Great. So anything else medically strange I need to know?
No. Not that I can think of.
So you mentioned that you've obviously had several accidents and there was the surgeries. Did they have you on any kind of medication management, like
Not really. They didn't see a point in paying for my pain management. I mean, I already kind of lived for it with it for most of my life, so they didn't see a point in giving me any medication for it. I mean, it's kind of hard to know you're in pain when it's kind of just a background noise in your life constantly.
It Luke just has this absolutely incredulous look on his face, like, what? Okay, well, so you have chronic pain. Great. We're gonna figure out a pain medication management regimen for you. And he's like, he starts mumbling like medical mumbo jumbo breath, like, okay, great, fantastic, wonderful. They don't fucking know how to take care of people over there. I thought they had fucking goddamn free healthcare. Like, just fucking
Nothing in
just
this
fucking,
world's free.
just fucking mumbling under his breath, like, what the hell? And fucking chronic pain. She's fucking. How old are you?
24. Oh, wait,
Fucking
no, wait. Wait, no, 25. No, wait, 20. I was born in 89.
What year were you plucked from?
2013.
So you're 24.
Yeah, that's the international age. Korean age is different.
You're 24. We're the same age. Congratulations. Great. Fantastic. I think we're done here. Actually, wait, no. So you picked up on. Oh, we're by ourselves. You picked up on, like, the fact that.
That you're gay?
I mean, you didn't have to just say it, but yeah.
There ain't no one in here.
Yeah, but like. No one else knows in the group other than Charlie and Orion, and I'd like to keep it that way for now.
Oh, don't worry, I ain't no snitch.
Cool. Great. Okay. On the same page with that.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Ain't my business.
All right. So we'll figure out the pain medication management stuff, because chronic pain is not fun and you should not have to be living with that. Secondly, take it easy for the next few days. Your body's still in recovery mode. Whatever Orion did, it helped a lot, but you still need to be careful because you're still healing, because that was extremely traumatic to your body. So just be careful these next few days. Don't do anything super physically strenuous. Please don't get hit by a car.
I can't really control the car thing. I'm just allergic. It happens.
Yep. Allergy. That's what we're gonna call it. Anyways. Cool. And Luke's just gonna, like, go throw his notebook in here and ponder his life for a few moments.
Okay. The forklift.
God.
He just
Okay.
gets impelled.
Do you want to come see the others, or do you just? You need a room. Do you want me to show you where the rooms are and everything? Have you been given a tour of the ship?
Nah, I've been unconscious most of the time. You know, I was conscious after they hit me with I guess this would be a car. You know, allergies. And I've been unconscious since.
Got it. If you feel like it, I will show you the ship and I'll show you the available room. Because you're kind of stuck with
let's
us
do
for a
it.
while.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Might as
Luke will just proceed to give Julie a tour of the ship and everything. We can hand wave that.
Stay away from the toaster tart pantry.
Yeah, and she would get one of these two rooms at the bottom. She can take either one. It doesn't matter.
Whichever one she wants.
Whichever one's the farthest away from people.
Okay, so
This
from one.
one.
Well,
For the time.
kind of in a.
Hey!
It's kind of.
I'm just realizing that room's bigger than all the rest.
It
Is
is.
it?
What the
Oh,
fuck? I never noticed that.
Yeah, look, this is like the first map. These are like I made all these like. Yeah. So.
Julie's metagaming. Javi's getting his ass beat in Smash Bros by Hiera.
She's beating your fucking ass,
And,
bro.
and Javi's just like, how is she so good?
Hieta's being good at video games because she's just naturally good at them, but also she wants to impress Charlie with her ability in video games.
I can't even tell. Everything's moving so fast in this game. I can't even tell what's happening.
What
happened
happened to
Pong?
She's
What happened to
playing Fox.
Pong?
I was gonna say, what the fuck happened to Pac-Man? It was so simple.
Yeah, it was the best. Joust.
What's wave dashing? Stop telling me to wave
Yeah.
dash.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
it is actually important question. Is Charlie playing as Kirby since Luke's not playing?
Charlie's not playing. Charlie's
Oh.
just watching.
Watching Hieta Final Destination no items the fuck out of Hobby.
And Javi's not bad either. It's just that she's just too good for some reason.
He's just like really good, yeah.
When we weren't looking, she went to like another dimension and kissed Stanley to get the Smash Bros. Skills.
I can't believe I just kissed a demon, babe. No one will ever believe you. Fuck.
Did anybody see that? No.
Whatever, Stanley. You suck. Maybe I'll get like cool demon powers. Up at like 3 a.m. just screaming.
That kid from that video. Oh man.
Okay,
Hey
what were you
Julie.
saying?
I was curious. What is your? You're a Power Ranger, right? Or you don't call it Power Ranger. You are a superhero, right? Like you can transform.
Yeah, yeah, we do tend to go more towards the English version of it, mainly because during the time they were creating my group, they kind of wanted to be more towards that because they believed that the Westerners would probably have a lot more monetary impact on it. They were doing studies and stuff.
I have no idea what you just said, but anyway, would you like to show us your Ranger form? Check this out. And I go, companion convert. Yellow house cat. And I morph into the yellow house cat.
Sailor Moon morphing sequence.
She's like, oh God, they got another one. God
What
bless.
And then Tabby
Sunshine
walks up.
corporations everywhere.
What do you mean?
No,
Oh wait, yeah,
Julie.
you're American. Never mind,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about that.
I'll start speaking Japanese.
Learned from Hiera.
Just all of a sudden, Charlie's Japanese is like spot on out of nowhere, and it's like, how did you get there, Charlie?
Hiera starts losing at the game because she gets flustered.
God.
Lord. I was told not to do any strenuous activity as of right now, and since I don't want to be thrown off the ship.
Oh, he says that. He's not gonna, he threatened me with that a lot too.
Nah, listen, I have experience on people saying they're gonna do something and they do it. It got me in a lot of trouble. I'd rather not test my luck just now. Maybe later, whenever I get a full feeling of what he truly is like. Because I really don't want to be floating in space.
And also, like she said, I mean, obviously, I don't think morphing would necessarily be all that strenuous.
I do backflips.
Okay, yeah, no, don't do that.
Well, that was pretty awesome.
It is not.
She needs to take it easy for the next couple days, so no backflipping.
Yeah, that's not really something I do in my downtime. That's just whenever I'm morphed.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm just looking forward to seeing another ranger in action. That's pretty cool. It's good to have you on board. And then I just leave her alone. I'm seeing if the cat farm was gonna freak her out at all. Like, oh God.
Oh yeah, is Kamudi following us around? Is he patting after his dad since dad is home?
He's enjoying the feeling of the ship feeling alive again by snoozing on the carpet with the frog.
Oh
He is
shit.
at peace.
That reminds me.
Wow.
Is Allie okay?
Yeah. Where is Allie?
Is anyone gonna call for Allie?
Who's Allie?
You
met
met her.
Allie.
She's our little fairy holographic.
Ah, yeah, it's kind of fuzzy because I did have a slight concussion during that time, and I did just it was probably one of my lowest moments. It's a little bit fuzzy, so I kind of don't really remember a lot, and I just remember one dude kind of being a little bit of an asshole. Yeah, that's the right English word for it. Yeah, asshole.
Anyway, should we maybe? Should I go?
Allie?
Should we?
Javi's looking up at the ceiling.
Should we ask for her in a private situation, or just get her to?
Well, how about we just make sure she's okay first?
Yeah, that's a good call.
So Javi calls for Allie, and she pops up.
Does she seem normal?
She pops up with her usual hello.
Ellie, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm completely fine. It was a strange experience being used as a portaling device, but I think I made it through it. Although it was really weird. I had this kind of it's hard to explain, but that was the most I felt out of Dulcinea in a while. All of her emotions, her anger. I mean, I was upset about it and the whole situation, and seeing old Charlie and thinking about old Charlie makes me really sad. But uh I don't know, I kind of had this conversation yet not conversation with Dulcinea. It's just like it happened, but it was more like an understanding, but it was still lengthy. It was weird. It's weird. Things are weird, but I'm fine. I'm great. I feel better, and seeing Orion not have to do all that, it makes me feel better. I'm still a little sad though. Seeing you old and Javi and Luke being dead was when we first got there. It was. I don't have a heart, but it broke.
I can imagine it was a lot.
Pretty shocking to us as well.
I have no clue what's going on, but it sounds depressing as shit.
Yeah, I mean, my hairline looked pretty good though for an 80-year-old man.
You saw yourself as an 80-year-old man?
Wait, that wasn't a wig, was it?
I think I think it's the year. I think it was the year 2047.
So 60. Wait, no, I would be 80. Yeah. Wait, no, fuck, I don't know math.
It's either
Yes,
2047 or
you would have been 80 because we were in.
But I'm from the 80s.
he would have been 88 because he was 18 in 1977 technically.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Geez. I went back in time. Okay. Yeah. Well, not back in time, but lived. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, that was really, I don't know, unnerving, but I don't know. I just felt disconnected from him, to be honest. I don't know if I was supposed to, but his history and everything. It's not gonna be the life that we live. Because you guys did find a way to come back for us.
And maybe that's how you feel. I don't know. When we first touched down and everything was the way that it was, that it seemed like that was just it, the way that it was.
It felt permanent, I imagine. It felt like there was nothing you could do. So, like I said, while I can't completely understand, I can imagine how crushing that felt.
And even though y'all are back and you're here and everything's great and we're gonna fix the 70s and you're gonna leave this time for sure and not stay there, it's gonna work out. But a part of me is always gonna feel like a part of all of us is gonna be left behind in him. And he talked about being on the ship and the memories he could remember, and it felt so natural, and it's real, and it's there, and he's there, and he's doesn't have a lot of time left, but I don't know, it's weird. I feel like we are still leaving Charlie there. And it hurts.
Yeah.
Also, you called Orion Dad.
You heard that?
Of course I heard it.
I
That
feel
was
like everyone on here might have daddy issues.
that was an accident. I didn't
It's
know
a-
that was gonna come out when I hugged him.
It's a rampant outbreak we are currently trying to solve. I think Luke is the source.
Don't worry, I don't got daddy issues.
Luke just immediately looks at Allie like, what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure I'm the same person here. She nods her head like she's stating a fact.
You're definitely not, but okay.
I didn't think I could have positive
Javi,
feelings towards the dad, but that's
Javi
new.
just has a finger up to his temples, like you can't have daddy issues if you don't have a dad.
Actually, you can have a multitude of one.
Anyway,
A lot, actually.
and he's just gonna ignore you.
No, Javi's got other issues, but I think he was a mama's boy. He really
Oh yeah,
likes
definitely. If you
tall.
don't have a daddy, definitely a mama boy.
Allie, why are you so crass all of a sudden with your analysis of us?
I've never had anyone to talk to about it. It's just been you guys. Also, I think Dulcinea being Rachel changed me a little bit, or she's still angry inside, and I'm still feeling it. But
Feel
anyway,
that
Well,
anger.
like I was
Burn the
saying,
place down.
Javi has mommy issues, and it shows in the women that he likes.
Oh, I don't want to. Okay, I'm leaving this conversation before this continues. I don't like the implications of that.
I wonder what my taste makes me.
We'll find out.
And I was about to. I look at Allie. I was like, "Oh yeah, what kind of women do I like?"
Big, tall, strong, muscular, and sometimes they're axe.
You're stupid.
Nobody look at me.
In his room, he's just listening to some sad, depressing song. He's just like, I just miss him.
Well, Allie, we kind of told Charlie about which one of us were the real. I don't feel like that matters because I feel like I'm back and I'm looking at you and it feels good to be in the same room as you again.
Did he give you the box?
Yes, but I haven't opened it at all. I'm not. He told me to
Don't-
wait.
Yes, don't do it. Wait until you need it. Because if you're feeling this way now, you're probably not going to understand or care about anything in it. But maybe, just maybe, in time, whatever's in there, it'll make you feel stronger, better, and look towards a better future. Maybe.
But isn't that kind of scary? Like, what if I don't stay there like he did? What if we don't
Wow.
go
I
down
think-
the same path?
I think what he's trying to tell you is that no matter what you do, even when he felt he was probably making mistakes and things went bad, you really don't know how anything is going to be until the end. He told you about what happened with Javi, but they made it up. It took 10 years, but during that 10 years, he probably wasn't sure if he was going to get his friend back. And then when everything that happened with Luke, he regretted it. And he couldn't take that back, technically, until Luke showed up again. I think what he's just, like I said, I think what he's trying to tell you is just that even though it might look bad in moments, they're just moments. You look back at them and you enjoy them or you feel bad about them, but look where he ended up. Happy, 3 kids. Sounds pretty good.
I honestly can't think about that right now, because if I allow myself to think about a family that he had and that I might not have, the implications of that could send me into a downward spiral. So I'm trying to be very careful with how I proceed, about how I feel about all this.
I understand. But it's okay. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. And besides, now that I'm not, I'm still sad about it. Don't get me wrong. But now that I'm not as depressed or sad, we just found out that I can get hugs.
Hell yeah! Give me a hug! What is this? What's happening? Why am I feeling this? Is it Tabby?
I have no idea. As she gets bigger to back to her size, a normal, decent human size, and gives you the hug. You might have to look into this, or maybe Orion can help you, or maybe if we go to a universe where these powers exist, maybe someone can explain it. I think it fits your power set, though. It makes sense.
I'll ask somebody smarter than myself. I'll figure it out.
That would probably be maybe a Hayakawa question when he's not busy.
Yeah.
Charlie's like, I think it's just because I hug, they feel. Hayakawa, like 5 seconds later, yeah, that's actually it. That's just it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But yeah, you can talk to Hayakawa whenever you feel like that. But yeah, you can give Allie hugs and she can feel it and you can feel it to make her feel better.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Machine Empire and turn them all into good guys.
I don't think that's how that works.
It is. I can do everything.
But hey, if you ever run into a ghost that's depressed or sad, you can hug the ghost. You can hug any digital being or any non-tangible being.
Clicking on the ghost girl.
Love that.
Do you feel this?
You're a
But,
ghost.
My depression is vast and deep. Take more than a
Jesus
hug
Christ.
to hear that.
No, you're good. I'm done. I just wanted to tell her that I'm glad to be back and that I love her too.
Aw.
She says she loves you too.
So, I would like to roleplay out the question that Javi just asked Luke.
Okay, that's probably where we're gonna wrap up session. So you both go into the research bay, or
Well,
he
no,
follows
like-
you.
Yeah, Luke's just in the med bay, like fussing over the pain meds, trying to figure out what would be the best thing to start with, like Julie, since she's apparently got chronic pain, and he's like fussing over his notes that he has over like different like things because he's been trying to continue his studies in the what free time he does have, so he's fussing over that. And I'm assuming Javi comes in and is like just asks that.
Yeah, because after the whole alley pointing out what type of women he likes, he's like, huh, like I wonder what kind of women Luke likes, and like I already know what Charlie likes.
Yeah, so he comes in and he asks like what kind of women Luke likes.
Yeah.
And why do you ask? Is it because of the whole alley thing?
No. He's like, I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, do you agree with her analysis of the kind of women you like?
Anyway, Luke, I'm talking about you.
He's very clearly trying to avoid the question.
Luke, it shouldn't be
Oh,
this
really?
hard. Come on.
Luke, just God damn it! Why this? just puts his notes down, turns around, looks at Javi. Listen, Javi. I don't know really what kind of women I like.
Well, there's a lot of them. That's understandable. But like, what do you? But you could do it. You could try to pin it down. What do you look for?
No, Javi, you're not understanding. I don't really know what I look for in a woman or what I like in women because I don't like women.
He's like, don't like women.
A misogynist.
Yeah, he's just like, that's just fucked up, Luke. No, no,
No.
play. No.
Okay, wait.
That was just going off of James's bit.
Okay.
He's like, what do you mean?
He just like pinches the bridge of his nose. Javier, I'm fucking gay. I don't like women because I'm gay.
He's just like, that explains a bit now. And then he's just gonna hug you because he's just like he always imagined having this conversation with his brother, and he was like I'd always accept him regardless. He's into right now. This is no different.
Luke for a second like does the dead fish thing and just like then
Yeah.
hugs and like huh?
I was just gonna say while he's hugging, he's just gonna be like, "That's okay." He's like, "Well, I'm glad you told me." He's like, I still love you regardless." He's like, "You literally have not changed at all in my eyes."
Luke just hugs him back and just sort of thanks, Javi.
So, what kind of men do you like?
Luke, let's go from the hug.
Javi's let go and is just looking at you like, huh?
I mean, I guess I like guys who are, I usually prefer them to be taller than me. I usually like darker, curly hair. As long as they've got like a good attitude about things, and I really enjoy humor. I don't know. He starts to realize that he's just describing Hayakawa. I like taller. Usually like darker hair, curly. Good sense of humor. Yep.
Okay, and he's like taking mental note of this.
I've never really like dated anyone. I've never really had anything serious. So, but just thinking back on most of the guys I've been interested in, that's kind of been commonality. I really like freckles.
Freckles. Huh.
Yeah. Anyways.
So it's finally out that Luke is gay. Javi finally knows.
Yep, Javi finally knows. What do you mean you don't like women? Just Luke eternally. God, I have to be so direct with this man. Beep 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 beep.
Okay.
I hit Julie with the forklift.
Please no.
I mean, she wouldn't get injured because anytime she gets hit, like it's like in a K-drama whenever the female lead gets hit or whatever, and like they fall all dramatically in slow motion. That's what happens with her.
Drama. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's why she was like, it always takes so long for me to hit the ground. I don't know why.
God, I realized that now. You did say that. Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of times whenever I say stuff as the character, like in character and stuff, it always has a hint of what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to see if anyone notices.
Well, I know, but that's because we've had the bit going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but Yeah.
Is that everything? Are we going to end this session finally?
I think that's everything. We had
Could be everything.
some sweet moments.
Okay, because I'm gonna end the recording because we have like an hour left on it.
Cool.
Yeah. Hayakawa went back to the research bay.
Yep.
Busy.
Okay. /stop. We are done.